North London Derby. All eyes on this fixture, and this is my prediction. 3-2 Spurs. Okay, hear me out. I know. The last time Spurs beat Arsenal in the Premier League was in 2022. Let that sink in. Hello, welcome back to Game Week 4 score predictions. Let's quickly recap last Game Week 3. We have my predictions on the left side there, right beside the team logos. Refreshing you on the legend of the scoring system. Getting the result right is 2 points. Getting the score line right, 1 point each for each team, which is the number of goals scored, as well as the goal difference. Game week 1, I got 21 points based off that system. Game week 2, I got 21 points, so we're pretty steady. Let's see how I did for game week 3. So, first game of the game week was Arsenal versus Brighton. The game finished tied. I predicted an Arsenal win. That was wrong, so I only got 1 point. Moving on to Brentford versus Southampton. This was my best prediction of the week. Brentford took a 3-1 win, and I got 5 points. Moving on to Everton and Bournemouth. I predicted a 3-2-1 Bournemouth win, and it ended up 3-2. So I got the result right as well as the goal difference, so that's 3 points. Everton, not doing well this season. Moving on to Ipswich versus Fulham. I predicted a 1-0 Fulham win. Ipswich squeezed the goal there, and they tied 1-1, so that was 1 point. Leicester versus Villa. Got the result right, and I got the goal scored for Leicester right, so that is a 3-pointer. Moving on to Nottingham Forest versus Wolves. The game finished tied at 1. A lot of 1-1s this game week. I got the result wrong, so I only got the Wolves score prediction right, so that's 1 point. And the last game on Saturday was Manchester City versus West Ham. They conceded, so I got the result right, and I got the goal score, so that's 3 points. Moving on to Sunday, started with Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. Unfortunate for Chelsea, they tied, so I just got 1 point as well. Our result was wrong. The result for this one flipped around. I got only the goal difference right. Spurs lost to Newcastle. Isak with the game winner, so 1 point. And the final game of the game week, I predicted a 4-1 Liverpool win at Old Trafford, but Liverpool took it 3-0. So I got the result right and the goal difference. So that is 3 points. And I finished with 22 points game week 3. So we did a little above the mean there. So that's pretty good. We're going in the right direction. Hopefully game week 4 we can see what we get. So alright, game week 4, some highlighted fixtures at the bottom. We got the North London Derby. We got Wolves versus Newcastle. We got Chelsea versus Bournemouth. Liverpool versus Forest. Man United versus Southampton. And Manchester City versus Brentford. Alright, so now let's carry on. Saturday, 14th of September. Southampton are at home to Manchester United. I'm predicting a 2-1 win for Manchester United. Not much to say here. I think, this is a fixture that Man U should win. And, yeah. Over to Brighton versus Ipswich. Brighton are hosting Ipswich, and I feel that Brighton, they're in their groove. They tied Arsenal last week. They should get the W here. I'm letting Ipswich, I think Ipswich will score. But, yeah, 2-1 Brighton. Moving on to Crystal Palace at home to Leicester. I'm predicting another 2-1 scoreline in favor of Crystal Palace. I like Ipswich. I think Leicester will score, but I think Palace will take it. Moving on to another London derby here. We got Fulham versus West Ham. Fulham have been doing really well this season. I just think that West Ham will score, but Fulham at home will take the dubs. Moving on to Liverpool versus Forest. This is a good fixture for Liverpool at home, going 3-0. I just don't have faith in Nottingham Forest personally, but you never know. And on to Manchester City versus Brentford at 7 as well, Pacific Daylight Time. 3-1 for Manchester City. I just think that Brentford will squeeze a goal. I was actually looking at past fixtures in the Premier League. Brentford have scored 3 in the last 4 games, and they've actually won 2 of those back in 2023, 2022. So they can score in this fixture. But I obviously Manchester City should get the W. Moving on to Villa versus Everton. Everton really poor start to the season. I don't see it changing here. Aston Villa 2-0. Hopefully Ollie Watkins can get a goal this game week. The long awaited. And the final game on the Saturday is Bournemouth hosting Chelsea. Feeling Chelsea will get the W here, 2-1. But it could be on their day Chelsea can score many. I'm just gonna go 2-1 away from home. On the Sunday, the first fixture is the North London Derby. All eyes on this fixture, and this is my prediction. 3-2 Spurs. Okay, hear me out. I know. The last time Spurs beat Arsenal in the Premier League was in 2022. Let that sink in. But I just think Arsenal are plagued with some injuries. Odegaard just picked up injury on international break, and Rice is suspended 1 game. Poor game to be suspended for. So I think Spurs, they will concede, but they're gonna squeeze the W. At home, they should get it. And the last game of the game week is Newcastle away at Wolverhampton Wanderers. 2-0 for Newcastle is my prediction. Not much to say on this game. I just think Newcastle will be too much for Wolves. Alright, thank you so much. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this, and let's see how I do Game Week 4 next Game Week. Thank you so much for watching.